Hi guys, welcome to Warwickshire Outdoors. Today I'm going to have a go at using flint and steel again. Last time you joined me, I managed to light a small fire in a twig stove. Today I'm going to have a go and making sure I can do it to get a good proper fire going and make some coffee. So join me in this little communal area. I'll show you what I've got and join me soon. See you soon. So hello everybody, thanks for joining me. I'm in this little communal space today here in this permission woodland I've got. I'll show you around. Here's a surrounding view. So here we go guys, here's home for the next few hours. It's a Sunday afternoon, it's warm, there's intermittent rain. I just think this would be a great area to use in future if there's a group of us. It's great to practice skills in there in inclement weather, practice carving, practice fire lighting techniques, all sorts of stuff. I'm looking forward to using that today. So this is what I brought with me today. There's some odds and ends in there, 2 litres of water, a pot, some other odds and ends, gloves, first aid kit, etc, etc. I bought some wood in with me today. I got birch, and I've also bought some of this really hard wood. This is South African wood, this is imported, and if you're into your outdoor cooking or braais or barbecues, this South African wood from a company called Let's Braai is absolutely brilliant. It's solid, it's really heavy. I don't know if you can see from this close. That grain is almost smooth. It's like, it's impossible to cut with a saw, this wood. It's like concrete. It burns for hours and hours and hours, makes its own coals and charcoal, and then it'll just burn for hours. I've got a bird's nest which I've gathered in there. I've got a fire spike, you know, one of those pot hanger things from TMJ Metalworks, I think it is. I've gathered some twigs as I came in to get the fire going. This hardwood makes for an excellent mallet. I've tried to put the spike as close to the fire pit as possible. So as you can see with these, it's slightly angled, and there's a slant inside there, so that if you twist that round, it'll lock into place. So I'm going to put the arm on, and they simply just slot on there, and the weight of that, I'll just hold that there. It's a bit close to the edge, but I'll have the fire here, I've got plenty of room. There we go. Set up the fire just here. So I'm going to gather some twigs, small logs, and make a base. I have also got this griddle grate arm to go on here as well, which I have used in the past to rest a pan on, cook some food on. It works great, but I don't need it today, so I'm not going to use it. I've bought my number 10 Castron forest knife today, a Laplander. I've got the forest knife on a dangler, which to be honest with you I don't normally use. I know I think danglers get in the way, but I'm going to give it a go today. There you go. What do you think? See if it gets in the way or not. Feels pretty okay at the moment. See how we get on. Guys, this is where I was in my last video, and I remembered putting a branch up in the tree here to keep it dry off the ground, and lo and behold, it's still here. What do you know? Here we go. I'm going to use this. My plan worked. This is very dry. Excellent. Makes you think about days gone by when our ancestors perhaps would use, I don't know, same hunting trails, trade routes, whatever. Whether they would keep things or leave things out for when they returned or were passing by again, who knows. I'd imagine they'd have done a lot of forward planning, a lot of preparing stuff, you know. As I say, they'd have known those routes like the back of their hands probably. So whether they'd have left stuff out, left piles of wood, left up some, you know, stuff to dry out for when they come back, so make a firelighting easier for themselves, who knows. Makes you think. So there you go, the fire lay or base or whatever you want to call it is down. Let's get cracking. It's nice when you get that satisfying snap. You know that your wood's good and dry. Should be okay. There's something therapeutic about taking time to prepare for things. I just realised that I was rushing for a while then, and I just had to think, why am I rushing? I've got plenty of time. I don't need to rush. Take your time and make sure I do it properly. Now, I'm not an expert in any of this stuff, guys. This is just a hobby for me, but I like sharing my experiences, what goes right, what goes wrong, what works for me, what doesn't. You know, there are people out there you can watch Paul Kirtley's videos and stuff like that, who are absolutely brilliant if you want to know how to do things properly. But if you want to just have a go and share an experience, that's what I'm all about, really. I'm not an expert, it's not my job, I'm not a professional. This is something I do at weekends and on my annual leave and stuff. But I thoroughly enjoy it, and I like having a go at things. Sometimes, you know, it doesn't work the first few times you do it, but the good thing about it is it's all about perseverance and just having a go. Saying that, I hope this works first time because I'm desperate for a drink. This is the bird's nest I've got to work with today. I picked this long grass about 3-4 days ago, left it outside to dry. It's taken quite a while to dry, but it's, I think it's a decent size. I put some strips of very thin birch bark in there, and we'll see how that goes. It should be okay. Nice little hole in the middle there to put my ember in. What I like to do is just wrap a little blade around the bottom there, and it makes this nice shape. Nice little deep bird's nest hole. Let's get this going. Oh. Ideally, I'd have a big armful of thin twigs, but sometimes I just like to challenge myself, you know. Maybe I'm a bit lazy and I shouldn't be, but I always think if you can get a fire going with the minimal that you've got, then you can get a fire going anytime. And it's just practice, trial and error, see what works, see what doesn't. There we go, the fire's going. I'm happy with that. I now know that that's not going to go out. Phew! We all love to see a pot over a fire, don't we? Water's well and truly boiling, look at that. Get some coffee on the go. Cheers, guys. I'll put some bigger pieces of wood on now. It's a bit smoky, but they will catch. They're very dry. Very dry indeed. Cheers. The main reason I'm doing this is to prove to myself that with a flint and steel and a bird's nest, I can get a big fire going, a proper campfire, you know, enough for 1, 2, 3 people, which you could cook on, last all night, keep adding to. And now those bigger pieces of wood are on there, I'm confident that that would burn all night now, and it's not going to go out. You know, once I keep adding wood to it, I can keep adding wood to that. I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going to probably burn all that wood while I'm here, just to prove that I can do it and get a fire going for a good couple of hours. Apologies if there's a little bit of background noise. A field or two a bit further on, I think there's a group of scouts or a group of kids here for the weekend. Sounds like they're playing games in the field. That's a bit way off, but it's nice to hear kids enjoying themselves in the outdoors, isn't it? It's amazing that you can blow a tiny spark into a flame, which then creates a fire. And I think that's what I love about doing some of these skills, and you know, bit of bushcraft, and that is I think we kind of take for granted a lot of our things in our modern world, don't we? Turn on the tap, water comes out, you know, it's an old cliche, isn't it? But it kind of gives you a connection, you know, striking that spark, getting a fire going. It would have meant a matter of life or death to them, you know, being able to cook, keep warm, find a communal spot, keep animals away, keep insects away. Yeah, it's brilliant. And you got that connection going back thousands of years, haven't you? Somewhere in my DNA, I guess in our DNA, somewhere in our DNA, in our makeup or our carbon or wherever it is, maybe somewhere there's a connection, maybe somewhere we remember. It's been handed down from us, from our ancestors. Because a relative of mine would have done this 1,000 years ago. When you think of it that way, it's quite, I don't know, gives you a satisfied feeling inside, a connection anyway. I don't know who any of my relatives were who lived 1,000 years ago, who knows? But by doing things, being outside, connecting, using some of the natural resources, making a fire, the smell of the campfire smoke, I hope it gives me some sort of appreciation of what they had to do in order for me to be here today, and you. So guys, if you're interested in ordering some braai wood, if you're into your outdoor cooking, contact Dan at Let's Braai. I'll put a screenshot of his website, but I'll put a link in the description as well. As I say, he imports this from Africa. There's several different types of wood, which, being an Englishman, I'm not quite sure what they are. I'm not used to cooking on charcoal, but this is particularly gorgeous wood. As I say, it's like concrete. Visit Dan's website. He also sells barbecues and briquettes and all sorts of stuff. He'll ship to all over. As I say, based in Coventry. As we know, is in the Midlands, but we all know it should be North Warwickshire, don't we? So yeah, give Dan a call or contact him if you need any braai wood. So I've put the South African wood on now, and as you can see, it doesn't catch straight away. It takes a while to catch. I've put those 3 pieces on there. The coals are burning really hot underneath. It's those 3 pieces of wood now are going to burn very long and very hot. It gives off a lovely orange flame and then creates its own embers and charcoal. This fire now is giving off an awful lot of heat, and I will not have to touch this for a good hour, maybe 2 hours. I won't have to put any more wood on this now for a long time. Those 3 pieces of wood will last a long time. And that really is quite hot. Perfect. Tea's ready. So guys, I'm going to leave it there. I achieved everything I wanted to achieve today. Tried out my dangler. I've had this dangler about 5 years. The same length I've had this knife. I've hardly used it, and it's been really comfortable today. Yeah, I've enjoyed wearing it actually. So I'll wear it more often, I think, going forward. Really pleased with the fire. Those pieces of South African wood are still going strong. They still haven't burnt through. That's a perfect cooking fire, the campfire, you name it, whatever you want to do with it now. I brewed up another pot of water, had another cup of tea, but I'm going to let this die down. I'm going to stay here for another however long it takes to die down, and I'm going to make my way out. But thanks for joining me, and I'll see you soon. Bye.